1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 1. Am I not an apostle? Of course he is. Am I not free? Of course. Have I not seen Jesus Christ our Lord? And of course he has, in Acts chapter 9. Are not ye my works in the Lord? Most definitely. If I be not an apostle to others, yet doubtless I am to you. For the seal of mine apostleship are ye, being in the Lord. Mine answer to them that do examine me is this. So Paul is going to address his critics. Have we not power or the right to eat and drink? Paul is making an argument that he, Barnabas, and others doing God's work should be compensated for this work. Have we not power, again the right, to lead about a sister, a wife, and have them not suffer hardships, as well as the other apostles do, and as the brethren of the Lord and Cephas? Or I only and Barnabas have not we power to forbear working? Paul is saying, are we the only ones who have to work to support our own selves? Who goeth a warfare at any time at his own charges? Who planteth a vineyard and eateth not of the fruit thereof? Or who feedeth the flock and eateth not of the milk of the flock? Say I these things as a man, or saith not the law the same thing also? For it is written in the law of Moses, Thou shalt not muzzle the mouth of the ox that treadeth out the corn. Doth God take care for only the oxen? Or saith he it altogether for our sakes? Yes, for our sakes. No doubt this is written, that he that ploweth should plow in hope, and that he that thresheth in hope should be partakers of his hope. If we have sown unto you in spiritual things, is it a great thing that we should reap your carnal things? If others be partakers of this power, again this right of compensation over you, are not we rather also worthy, meaning Paul and Barnabas? Nevertheless, we have not used this power, but suffer all things, lest we should hinder the gospel of Christ. Do ye not know that they, the priests, which minister about holy things, the holy things of the temple, live of the things of the temple? And they, again the priests, which wait at the altar, are partakers with the altar? Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 1. The priests, the Levites, and all the tribe of Levi shall have no part or inheritance with Israel. They shall eat the offerings of the Lord made by fire and his inheritance. And back to chapter 9, verse 14. Even so hath the Lord ordained that they which preach the gospel should live of the gospel. But I have used none of these things, neither have I written in any of his letters of these things, that it should be done so unto me. For it were better for me to die than that any man should make my glorying void. I do this because I love the Lord. For though I preach the gospel, I had nothing to glory of, for necessity is laid upon me. I was called or compelled of God for this work. Yea, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel. For if I do this thing willingly, I have a reward. In other words, if this was my chosen career, then yes, I should be paid. But if against my will, if it wasn't my choice, then it was a dispensation or divine stewardship of the gospel that is committed unto me. What is my reward then? Verily, that when I preach the gospel, I may make the gospel of Christ without charge, that I abuse not my power in the gospel. For though I be free from all men, yet have I made myself servant unto all, that I may gain the more. And unto the Jews, remember from our last study, the rabbinic Jews, I became as a Jew, by practicing rabbinic Judaism, that I may gain the Jews. To them that are under the law, again the rabbinic law, the Talmud, as under the law, that I might gain them that are under the law. To them, meaning the Gentiles that are without law, again the rabbinic law as without law. Now listen carefully, being not without law to God, but under the law to Christ. So we are still under the laws of God, because God's laws should be written on our hearts, but we are no longer under religious dogma. that I might gain them, again the Gentiles that are without law, and again the rabbinic laws. To the weak became I as weak, that I might gain the weak. I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. And this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be partaker of the blessings thereof with you. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run, and I'll add as hard as you can, that ye may obtain that prize. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things, meaning he exercises self-control. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible, a much better prize, an eternal prize. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, but with purpose, so fight I. Underline that. And not as one that beateth the air, so as if my life depended upon it. The word fight here in the Greek is pukteo. It's the Strong's word G4438, and it means to box with fists, to contend at the games, the gladiatorial games, to fight. Now, according to Dr. Bullinger, instead of wearing padded gloves like the boxers today, the gladiators wore battle gloves called cestus. They were leather bands studded with pieces of metal designed to inflict lethal injuries. Let's go to verse 27 to finish the chapter. But I keep under my body, I keep under control my body, and bring it into subjection. So Paul practices what he preaches, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. Let's go to chapter 10.